Yeah, I'm getting ready for these old bloodthirsty for money ass people. They so avaricious. Plotting and shit on my life, plotting on my property and shit. They plotting to come and evict me out of my house, so I'm just prepared. I had motion to court yesterday. I called Judge Jeremy Brown at 5737 Cullen yesterday. So I send them a message on Facebook. So I motioned the eviction. So I'm just getting prepared for. I know these people are so bloodthirsty for money out here and avaricious. They're trying every trick of the trade to try to squander some money out of me. Because they heard I was a millionaire. They heard I was making money. You know, I look successful and I'm trying to make that money, but they're not giving me a fair opportunity to get started out here. These people are just trying to come in, spoil and plunder my work, spoil and plunder my intentions before I can get started. They come over here and try to just take whatever they want from you and shit. They don't give you a fair chance to get started. I applied for so many jobs. I applied for food stamps benefits. I applied for Medicaid. I done been denied everything. They won't give you a fair chance to live in this land if you got dark skin like I do. So that's what I really feel in my heart. I feel like I'm being discriminated against, racially profiled when I drive. You know, that's what is the hate in my heart for the H, for Sam Houston, Texas, for this white man city. It's not designed for a Negro to have success. Maybe the Negro female, but it's hard for a black man to hold on to his tradition, hold on to his history, and to live in this land. They want to colonialize you and make you to be mixed with the Gentiles. You got to be like the white people. The black people want to move in the white people city. They want to move in the white people neighborhood and do as the white people do. I'm not like that. I'm a person that wants to be separated from the Europeans and do not like the Gentiles who know not God. That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 5. It says that. Be not like the Gentiles, because they know not God, and I don't want to be like them. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be part of no homosexual agenda. I'm not trying to be corrupted in any kind of way. I'm just holding on to the tradition of the Hebrews who were called out of the land of Egypt. And now we dispersed all over the world. And this is one of those places. Texas. Texas has a long history. Long history. Pre-Columbian era of America was here too. That Texas history, the Europeans don't teach in their schools about. They don't teach about the pre-Columbian era of America in Texas, across the Gulf of Mexico, before the white settlers got here. They want to start with the Republic of Texas, 1824, 1835, Republic of Texas. Then they want to teach their history. But I'm one of the civilizations of people with them aboriginal bloodlines. If it's blood O, blood A, or blood B. B positive, B negative, I think they said I was B negative. OB negative, okay? I'm not of the European bloodlines. The European bloodlines are reptilian, which they say RH. RH is the blue bloods. Blue bloods are people who body temperature has to be in cold places because their melanin of their skin gets damaged by the rays of the sun. They're polar, okay? Polar RH bloodlines. They need to be far up north or far down in the nether regions down south of the earth, which is Antarctica or the Arctic Circle. Those bloodlines are RH, European. Caucasoids. I'm not one of those people, so I'm not a polar creature. I'm solar. I have to be in the sunlight. I have to be in the heat of the sun. That is my natural habitat, okay? We need to be separated from the polar creatures if you're a solar creature. Now, solar creatures move from east to west. That's how we end up in the West Indies. East, west, okay. The polar creatures are from the north all the way to the bottom of the earth. In the south, they polar, bipolar, Arctic, Antarctic. Okay, they're from a different constellation. They're from Draco. The lawgiver in the Greek language is called Draco. Draco is the dragon constellation in the north. It presides over Queen Elizabeth's Islands in the North Magnetic Pole up north, in the North Pole, okay? That's why those people believe in something different. Santa Claus, Jolly Great Saint from the North Pole. Polar creatures are white, okay? Solar creatures are colored, dark-skinned. Copper tone, brown, black. Okay. So I'm solar. I cannot mixed with the polar creatures. It's just, it causes a sickness. It causes some type of weird creatures when you intercourse with these people. So I don't want to make any weird looking Negro European looking creatures, okay, on the earth. I don't want to mix with them. I want to keep the tradition of the Hebrews called out of the land of Egypt, okay? The Lord, your God of Egypt, I was the Lord, your God, that brought you out of Egypt. The greater men, that's what I believe in. Amun-Ra was a solar god. All of the solar deities all over India and Southeast Asia. On the temple walls, all of the religious shrines was dedicated to on earth as it is in heaven. Temple of the sun, temple of the moon, which is in Tenochtitlan, formerly what is Mexico City, okay? Teotihuacan, pyramid of the sun. Teotihuacan, pyramid of the moon. And pyramid to the sun god. Okay? And they had a little chapel to the sun god, Quetzalcoatl, who was like Amun-Ra in Egypt. That's how he was in Mexico City in the pre-Columbian era of America. So that's what I believe in. I'm holding on to the traditions, the pre-Columbian era of America. The law of great peace to the Declaration of Independence. Home of the brave, land of the free. And I'm going to remain at liberty. That's what I am professing. If I have to die for what I believe in, go to martyrdom for what I just said, I will. But I will not be removed in this land. This is like roots. My roots are here on this earth before any white settlers, any polar creatures who are trying to come and buy us out, okay? And the reason why they're doing this is because the last bill that Barack Obama signed before he left office, when he gave $1 billion to the Ukraine, he signed that money over to the Ukraine. And I was terribly angry. A lot of people didn't even notice that he did that. But now the Ukraine has all the reparation money for all of the people in America. Our reserves at Fort Knox, Kentucky was signed over to the Ukraine. That does not belong to any Russian American companies in Europe. It doesn't belong to them. So it belongs to the pre-Columbian era of America. It belongs to the African Americans, who that money belongs to redevelop their communities, redevelop the African American communities first, who are the Native Americans. That's who that money belongs to. So Barack Obama listening to his mother, who is a white woman, listening to Joe Biden, who are part of that Russian American company, who are Anglo-Saxons and part of the Russian, you know, American company, which was probably started by Samuel Adams. All those presidents, formerly in the 1800s and 1700s, they are from those places. Russia, Ukraine, Germany, you know, all of them are white people. So they just signed all of our reparation money, all of the gold of the Aztecs. Is what the United States was built on. That's what the Statue of Liberty says. Ancient lands, my storied pomp, cries she. She has the wealth of all of the ancient places. And her Federal Reserve building, the Treasury building in Fort Knox, Kentucky. And they gave the bloodline of the Caucasoid in Ukraine, the Russian-American company, because Barack Obama's mother was that white woman who belongs to that bloodline, and he signs $1 billion that belongs to Montezuma. This is in the Marines fight song. From the shores of Tripoli, which is where Mansa Musa, the richest man in antiquity, was. From the Libyans, from Sangye is in Mali, or the people of Mali or Africans. The wealth of America comes from there to the halls of where? Montezuma. That's who that money in Fort Knox, Kentucky belonged to. $1 billion that was signed over to Ukraine. How does the white man now, you see how they ripped us off? They stole the Indian territories. This is land that don't belong to them. And now they signed our reparations and redevelopment plan. $1 billion for every African-American citizen in pre-Columbian era, Native American. Our money was signed over to the Ukraine to redevelop white people from the Ukraine in the United States. So they're coming here from the Ukraine. Funded by Barack Obama and his mother and Joe Biden as the vice president, to come and buy us out and make us second-class and third-class citizens. And now they're trying to do an Indian Removal Act, buy your property out, remove the niggers, remove the Indians out of the way, like they historically did with the Indian Removal Act and the Trail of Tears. They're not redeveloping us. They are sending standing officers standing against us. This is what is spoken of in the Declaration of Independence. They need to check their historical documents.